Welcome to the second video in a series for district and school leaders who create, review, and approve school improvement plans in the Future Ready Comprehensive Planning Portal. Today's video focuses on reviewing the needs assessment section of the portal. This instructional video was produced by the Statewide Team for School Improvement at Lancaster-Lebanon IU13, a leading education service agency which works in concert with the Pennsylvania Department of Education. Reproduction of this video is not permitted without written consent by IU13. Today's key topics include what data is included in the needs assessment, what student group data must be included, and suggestions and resources for completing each section. The video is focused on the SET, Complete Needs Assessment portion of the FRCPP. Under ESSA, this section is required as eligible schools operating a school-wide program shall develop a comprehensive plan that is based on a comprehensive needs assessment of the entire school that takes into account information on the academic achievement of children in the relation to the challenging state academic standards, particularly those needs of children who are failing or at risk of failing to meet the challenges of state academic standards and any other factors as determined by the local education agency. In addition, ESSA requires a detailed analysis of performance on state academic standards for all applicable student subgroups. Conducting a thorough needs assessment is essential to establishing a successful improvement plan. A needs assessment is a systemic process that is used to identify strengths and challenges within the context and constraints of the organization, and it digs deeper into the root causes of these challenges. The needs assessment goes beyond student data to include data on the prevalence of effective practices. It includes a thorough examination of practices, processes, and routines that impact teaching and learning. Through the needs assessment, the schools should establish a deep understanding of the school's context, including internal community and external community, and how these internal and external factors impact achievement of your vision and attainment of your long-term goals for students. In the SET section, schools will conduct a thorough needs assessment by reviewing, analyzing, and discussing a variety of relevant data sources. Throughout the needs assessment process, school strengths and challenges will be collected for review and prioritizing to completion of this section. For additional guidance and resources conducting a needs assessment, visit the IU13's website for school improvement. The URL is shown here. Select the Set Assess Needs section of the website and then Preparing for the Needs Assessment. As your team is conducting the needs assessment, it's essential to discuss your responses to these three questions. First, what data will allow us to assess student academic achievement, student engagement and readiness to learn, instructional quality, and school climate? Who will be responsible for collecting and organizing the data for the committee to use in the needs assessment? And last, do we need support facilitating a comprehensive needs assessment? Once you've conducted your needs assessment, the information needs to be entered into the FRCPP. In the SET section, there are sections for your analysis from each type of student data and system data. We'll look at each section in this video and review what is needed to document your high-quality needs assessment. The first section includes data from Future Ready PA Index. This section includes state assessment data only. Your team must have analyzed the data on the Future Ready PA site in order to complete this section. When analyzing the data from Future Ready PA Index, look at the overall student performance and discuss these areas the team determines to be a strength to build upon, as well as which ones are challenges. The Future Ready PA Index is the first level of data analysis for the team to conduct. This section is where teams will add information that was gained from that data analysis. After checking the boxes for each grade level represented in your school, you will see each indicator from Future Ready PA Index listed with a drop-down arrow on the left. To enter the data for that indicator, click the drop-down arrow. This example for English language arts and literature shows the layout of the areas for you to enter your Future Ready PA Index data. Before entering the data, you have two options. First, if you don't have data in Future Ready PA Index for this content area, click the box indicating as such. Next, there is a link that will take you directly to Future Ready PA Index page that includes the data for this section of your data analysis. The first set of data to enter is your review of your all student group information. If you've determined that your all student group data is a strength or a challenge, check the appropriate box. If the all student group is not going to be the focus of your plan, select the NA box. Below the all student group data box, you'll see two additional sections. The first section is where you'll enter subgroup data that represents strengths in your data, and directly below that is the area to enter the challenges that are noted for each subgroup's data. It is highly suggested that you return to Future Ready PA Index to verify the subgroups for which you are accountable. Use the drop-down box to select your student group. Then, in the Comments and Notable Observations section, enter the assessment and year of the data analyzed and a brief statement of your findings. Users are encouraged to include multiple comparisons to data from previous years, as this shows the potential impact of your past improvement plans. Before moving on to the next content areas, verify that each accountable subgroup has data entered, either as a strength or as a challenge. If you determine that a specific point is a strength that will be built upon, or is a challenge that may be a priority in the upcoming plan, check the box to add the notable observations to your summary of strengths or challenges. At the bottom of this section, the areas that you checked to include as a strength or challenge will be populated into this summary table. If you do not want something included, you may click the red X to remove it from the summary. Next, we'll move to the student performance data, looking at your local assessments. After reviewing the data on Future Ready PA Index, other state-sponsored and local formative data sources should be reviewed to better understand your school performance metrics. In this section, review local assessment data to gain a deeper understanding of patterns in student performance. Assessments such as CDT, Study Island, AimsWeb, Dibbles, iReady, etc. can be included here. This section may not include data points that are also included on Future Ready PA Index. When preparing for this data analysis, your team should first clarify the data sources that will be used for each content area. Then, review that data to analyze the strengths, challenges, and notable observations, such as increases or decreases from previous years. Then, record that information in the designated space in FRCPP. When adding data to the data area, it's helpful to include the year and the name of the data that you're addressing. In the Comments and Notable Observations section, users are encouraged to include comparisons to data from previous years. This highlights the analysis that has been completed and shows the impact of previous plans. In this Related Academics section, your team will repeat the data analysis process for additional content areas to better understand your school's performance in related subjects and skills areas. ESSA also requires states to disaggregate achievement and other data by student group, including economically disadvantaged, English learners, students receiving special education services, and major racial and ethnic groups. Pennsylvania's accountability system follows this facet of the law to ensure maximum transparency around student group performance. In each Future Ready PA Index metrics where your school noted that one or more student group is not currently meeting interim targets or 2030 goals, examine other state-sponsored and local formative data sources in order to better understand each student group's needs. So if there is data reported on a student group in Future Ready PA Index, and that student group did not meet interim targets or the 2030 goal, and you haven't yet reported on that group in a previous section of the needs assessment, you must analyze their local assessment data in this section. Next, you'll need to rate your organization's conditions for leadership, teaching, and learning. There is an evidence base identifying explicit conditions and practices that are most critical for improved teaching and learning for all students. The PA Essential Practices for Schools is divided into 4 conditions necessary for school improvement level efforts to flourish. 1 is to focus on continuous improvement of instruction. 2, empower leadership. 3, provide student-centered support systems. And 4, foster quality professional learning. Within each of these 4 conditions, discrete practices are defined to provide a clear playbook for schools in their efforts to establish and maintain these core conditions for continuous improvement of student achievement. To support you in this self-assessment, the IU13's website for school improvement provides resources and information. Specifically, the PA Essential Practices Self-Assessment Guide provides all of the tools and outlines the steps to take. On the website, you'll find links to the rubrics for each of the 18 essential practices. The rubrics include guiding questions and related sources of evidence. There's also a list of indicators of operational, referred to as the look-fors, for each of the essential practices. Some general steps to complete the self-assessment include forming a self-assessment team, gathering and analyzing the recommended sources of evidence, using the rubric to rate each essential practice, then add your agreed-upon ratings to the FRCPP and work to select areas to prioritize. In this section, the essential practices are organized by condition. Within each condition, you can click on the rating of each essential practice. At the end of this section is a summary of strengths and challenges. You'll see a pre-populated comprehensive list of the most significant and pressing challenges highlighted as you completed the comprehensive needs assessment. Review these summaries and confirm that they accurately reflect your school's most notable strengths and challenges. If revisions are required, return to the respective section of the needs assessment and make the revisions directly within the summary section. These tables will automatically update then to reflect your revisions. Once reviewed, select which strengths and challenges will be prioritized as you develop your improvement plan. The gray boxes will be populated, and you can check your prioritized selections. PDE contacts are listed here, and it's recommended to use the RA accounts to have a very timely reply. Thanks for watching this video. Please feel free to contact our team at pdecsi@iu13.org for more support.